and Amanda Steptoe. You may know us as Joey, Caitlin, and Spidey. And if it's okay, we're just going to hang out for a few minutes, 45 minutes or so, and we really, really depend on your questions to keep us going and to keep us motivated. So please, if you have a question, just throw up your hand. We'd love to answer them. Today marks the 5th year that we created something called the Degrassi Tour, where our first appearance together as a group was here at Toronto Comicon in 2017. Yep. That might have felt like 30 years ago these days with COVID, but we're happy to be back, especially now that things are opening up again. And obviously Toronto is our home base. This is where we're from. This is where Degrassi was filmed, and we're very, very proud of that fact. And we're just so grateful that all of you have chosen to come today to Toronto Comicon and join us for this little chat and this little celebration of Degrassi and everything to do with Canadian pop culture, what it's like to grow up as a Canadian in the 80s and 90s. And for some of you,
much fun.
You didn't even grow up in that era, but you still can relate to the show and enjoy it for what it is.
Hands up if your parents made you watch. There's always a few. We're sorry about that.
Does anybody have a quick question? Just to get the ball rolling? It's always people are shy at the beginning. Yes, sir.
This one might actually go a little deep, because obviously back in the 80s you guys dealt with a lot of sensitive topics, like teenage pregnancy, suicide. We can go through the whole list, but was there any time where individuals took your guys' message the wrong way and wanted to get you guys canceled rather than praise what you guys were raising awareness for?
Okay, so for me personally, there was no, I don't think there's any specific episode I was in. Maybe the homosexuality one, because I know that was a very controversial one, especially back in that time, which it shouldn't have been. But I do know for, so Michelle's character in BLT, the dating, the interracial dating, they got a lot of disgusting hate mail over that one. The producers did, which is crazy. I think like a pastor wrote in and condemned them for airing a show like that with such content. So it really did press a lot of buttons. A lot of the episodes, we were protected from the fan mail. Like they always read the fan mail for us. So we didn't always get to see what the feedback was, but I did hear, especially about that one, that one caused a lot of controversy, unfortunately. Anyone else think that?
Yeah, I think the episode actually where my character becomes pregnant, that was
of course
banned in the BBC. So my episodes were purposely removed from showing, and the video company that put out Degrassi there invited me over to be catered to a tour to promote my episodes that were not shown on the BBC. So oftentimes for the amount of hatred you get for some of those sensitive topics, there are those individuals that applauded the show to be brave enough to bring some of those issues to the forefront. So I think the good outweighed the bad, hopefully, and continues to do so.
For sure. When people write in like that, it means you're doing something right. It means that you're bringing up a topic that needs to be discussed. The abortion episode was banned as well by the BBC. I got a lot of flack, my character got a lot of flack for swearing Schools Out. I do remember that. That was a big thing, because that was also on prime time. But I think it was because it aired after a certain time that they were allowed to get away with that. But yeah, people didn't like Caitlin swearing, so. But it was appropriate for the moment, that's, I think.
In 2019, in Toronto, we had a reunion convention where we celebrated the show with 25 cast and crew and 300 fans from around the world. One of the fans came on stage, not on stage, but grabbed the microphone and mentioned how she grew up in a small town in Canada and certain things were taboo. They weren't discussed openly in school or with your parents, but you could talk to your friends about a topic such as homosexuality or an abusive relationship. It would start a dialogue because it was on the show, and she said that because it was on the show, it was okay to talk about it. And it was almost like a water cooler thing where other young people who didn't really have anyone to talk to at least had the show as an excuse to talk about that topic. And I think that was one of the things that Degrassi meant most to most of the fans that are still emotionally connected to the show all these decades later, is that it made them feel like they weren't alone. And that was kind of the mandate of the show, was to say, hey, we're not here to tell you what's right or wrong. We're not here to make your life better overnight. This is your journey, but here is someone who might be going through a similar journey, and make you feel less alone in the world. And that's what a lot of the fans that we met at Palooza kept reiterating time and time again, that the show helped them through those times. So, that's a good question, man. It's really deep. Heavy. Charade, or charade, is that a word? No. Charade. That he was pretending to be this cool know-it-all guy, but really he was just this insecure kid that wanted to be liked. And I think we can all relate to that growing up. And I think that's what they saw my ability to bring to the character, because I really was that insecure, shy kid in real life. And I just...
But you were also really effing awesome at the role.
I was, thank you. But I literally would show up on set and say, how would Michael J. Fox play this scene? Honestly, he was my idol, and I looked up to him, and I respected him so much, because he was this short little Canadian guy that was just awesome.
It's true, I really can't picture anybody else playing that role.
Stefan, who played Snake, auditioned for Joey. I remember the workshops with him playing the lines, and Shane, who played your baby daddy. I thought Shane was going to get Joey Jeremiah, because he was this good-looking and, you know, all-American guy. I wasn't sure what they were looking for. But Linda Schuyler, the producer, when I auditioned for the original casting session, said, nope, that's our Joey. And they really kind of focused on me throughout the workshops to bring something to the character that maybe I didn't quite understand. And again, this was a development process over seasons. You know, we all were learning how to act. Maybe not so much Stacy, because she had all that experience in junior high.
We're always learning.
But yeah, we spent years on set learning how to play our roles and how to act as the show grew as well. And they utilized that. You know, they saw that certain actors could carry certain performances or storylines, and they would approach and say, do you feel comfortable doing a storyline like this? And the actor would be like, absolutely, I want that opportunity. Like, you would fight for the meaty roles because, you know, you wanted that. So yeah, it was a fun, neat experience. I think we got one more question, and then we're gonna wrap it up. My lady that I've been staring at this whole time.
I feel like I'm...
Yes, this is just you and me, no one. Just you and me.
Thank you, Stacy, for resolving the mystery of why the kids of Degrassi showed up with different names, because that always bothered me. But I wanted to know, when was the last time that Remedy played together?
I swear you get asked that every time.
No, that's a real thing. Degrassi, The Next Generation, we were all in the bowling alley. Snake got diagnosed with cancer, and Joey got Wheels to come and kind of speak to him, and then we were driving home in the red convertible, and we were all singing in the car. That was literally the last time we were all together, the three of us, and singing that song. And it's captured on camera forever, which, man, that song.
I know, I just kind of grilled in your... As soon as I read your names on the schedule, I was thinking...
All right, well, you know what, guys? Thank you so much. We appreciate you sharing this time with us. We're only here for a couple more hours. You're welcome to just come by our booth and say hi. You don't necessarily have to buy an autograph picture or a selfie with us, or, you know, we would love that, but please just come and say hi. We would love to, you know, give you a fist pump and be able to connect with you guys and say thank you for watching Degrassi. But hope you had a good time. Thank you so much.